God.
My friend just told me he dropped $5,000 on an engagement ring. I was like,
Not worth it.
I was like, Lord God.
That's what Big Diamond wants you to do, baby.
Big Diamond.
Yeah, so we're planning to do that like mid-January to just like pay for it all. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna work every weekend for the next like month and a half and basically work 6 days a week for like. So that's why I'm just gonna burn up a lot of my time in December and just go into New Year guns blazing. So
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I have raises as of January 1st. So all right, let's do this. Let's record
That's
this
sick.
popsicle. Look at Dan's hair.
We got this.
I know.
It's like a pompadour.
It's peak Johnny
It's
Bravo.
quaffed.
It is. It's very like pompadour. It's fun.
Yeah. No.
Hey, mama.
Exactly. You're the monkey with me.
What was it? Seth MacFarlane was like a writer on it.
You the monkey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, and like Bush Hartman, I think too.
Yes.
Hello, 911. There's a handsome man in my house. Scratch that. It's only me.
All right.
There was a fun thread recently about like all like the '90s cartoons, the credits. It's like, oh, it's all these people who went on to make like great cartoons in 2000s.
Yeah, basically.
I need to address before we get into it. I need to address the Marty Supreme controversy.
Dan, I was just fucking with you.
Yeah.
I just want to. All I'm saying. Well, what did you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave it 5
5
stars.
I know. I
4 out of
saw.
5. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I
gave it 5 stars.
Okay. I still gave it a 7 because I thought the opening was really strong. I loved the score. Performances were great. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I'm lying. I would be absolutely lying if I didn't just be honest and say this story just felt so not. I didn't love the story. I thought it was like very meandering, the plot. And it was essentially
and your life is meandering.
I know it's story of my life, right? I should be Marty Supreme, but it just felt like I'm just like, why am I not? I was watching the entire thing from like a distance. I kept thinking, oh my God, I am not into this because it's like about ping pong, but it's really not. I felt like we could have replaced ping pong for chess and it would have made like no difference or anything else. Like he doesn't even seem like he's very.
No, it would have made an incredible difference because the movie. Well, so the theme of the movie is like debasement to access power, right? And part of like where that comes in is like this idea of insecurity, and part of that comes from the fact that he knows that table tennis is not a respected sport. But not only does he want to be great, he wants the sport to be great, and he's fused these two ideas, and that's like part of his quest. So it actually matters a lot that it's something that's like seen as kind of silly by people who are like aren't in that world, whereas chess, is like this lofty tradition, that goes all the way back centuries.
I get that's a part of it, but it felt like I don't know. It's just it was presented as so like I remember loving Uncut Gems, but this I just thought like, oh, it's like an anxiety attack, and I'm like fucking. I was bored throughout most of it. I'm gonna be real. I was bored, guys.
Engaged.
I'm sorry.
I feel like Dan, you probably just like ate too many nachos. You probably just like were not fully mentally prepared for like a 2-hour and like 30-minute film.
That was the other
40-minute film. I don't know.
I felt like it dragged.
Engaged. No, I
was engaged too the whole time.
I did. I will say, like, it got to a point where it felt like, okay, they're just finding like it got to a point where like I felt like they were forcing stupid shit to happen to him, like the dog plot. Like I think you could remove that whole plot, go into the dude's house, like the guy with the shotgun. It was just like it's just unnecessary. I don't know. Like it felt like they were forcing stupid things onto him after a certain point that just dragged the run. That's where I felt that runtime drags a little bit. Other than that, I thought it was fine. Like I loved thinking back to it. Like I loved the ping pong segments, like how they were shot, like all the intensity behind them, and I'm like, could have done a little more of that. That'd have been cool.
No, I mean, like I saw you and Ale say you didn't like the dog scene, but I actually think it works. Like, is it not as tight as if this was like a shorter movie and didn't have quite the like epic vision that this one had, contrasted with like other Safdie brother joints. Yeah, no, it's not as tight. And in a shorter movie, it probably wouldn't have felt as out of place. But I actually do think it's like A, thematically consistent, and B, was just like a lot of fun. Like I actually like the fact that was Penn Jillette. That was Penn Jillette doing like that like bit with the shotgun. Completely vanished into the world. That was so cool. And I liked the way it just sort of tailspin with the mobsters. I thought that was like so great. It was so fun. It was so chaotic, so clever. It did not drag on me at all. And again, it's like part of this like wider story of debasement for access to power. He's debasing himself. Not only is he being debased by others, he is debasing himself by going to all of these absurd lengths to do all of this absurd shit because he's ultimately a dumb kid, but a dumb kid who aspires to greatness. And this is what happens when you add those two things together, you know?
I get that. I just felt like I agree with everything you said. I thought like I enjoyed the plot of it. I enjoyed the performances were great. I enjoyed it. Okay, I'm gonna frame it as like a sandwich. Like all the parts of the sandwich are great. Like you have the plot with the mob guy and the dog, and then you have him hanging out with Tyler the Creator and hustling the dudes. And I thought that was great with the guy. I love that scene of them like after the hustle, they're like in the taxi and they're ghost riding the whip. Like that was so much fun. That was incredible. They go to the gas station. It kind of escalates like the gas station explodes. That was like probably my favorite whole sequence. Like I thought that was so much fun, and you could tell like that Tyler and Timmy are just like having a great fucking time. They have great chemistry. So you have that, right? You have the plot with Odessa's character pregnant. You have the plot with him trying to get the money from Kevin O'Leary, and then also rizzing up Gwyneth Paltrow. It's like you have all these great things, but you're overstuffing the sandwich. You have all these great parts of the sandwich, but you could just take some of it out. You're kind of stuffing a little too much, in my opinion.
No.
So I felt that then when you get to like the third act, like, okay, we have to solve all these plots, and it rushed a little bit to solve them because it's like, okay, we have to get to Tokyo now, and he has all these like different threads of how he's gonna get to Tokyo, how he's gonna get to pay off the fine, and it felt a little rushed where it's like, okay, now it's all solved and everything worked out well for him. Now he's off.
Yeah, that's how it works when you're like freaking out and trying to like come up with like plan A, B, and C, right? Because you're like running over here, but then you don't hear back, and then you're running over there, and that might work out, but then it's like, oh wait, plan A did pay off, and then you're running over there. That's life. That's how it works.
I know, but I get that. But I think for as long as runtime and movie, like it could have been you don't need A, B, C, and D. Like make it like Hollywood Remington. We don't need the D. We just make it Hollywood. All right.
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
That's fine. Like if it works for you, it's great. Like I said, like I don't inherently dislike the whole everything that happens. I just don't think it was necessary. You know what I'm saying?
No, I disagree. I think the tomatoes were vital on the sandwich. I'm sorry. I think it really tied it together.
Yeah. Listen, if you want the tomatoes, I'm fine with the rest of it.
A fresh garden tomato, Gene.
Do you think that was Chalamet's? Do you think that was actually Chalamet's ass?
Yeah.
Yes.
If it better be.
Look at him. Look at Timmy. He's not
that smooth little baby ass.
Yeah,
I was like,
definitely
give him the Oscar.
Small boy.
He's a very small boy.
Not a zit in sight on that thing. All right. Let's get into the real topic today. Welcome everyone to Eyes Wide Watch Club.
For all that?
Recording?
Oh yeah, of course.
Wait, when did you start recording?
Yeah, when did you start recording?
Oh, a while ago, but I'll know where to cut it off. I'm not going to.
When Remington reviewed where his parents live.
Well, I'm not.
Could you
stupid.
cut out all of the doxing parts? Could you cut
Yes,
out?
I'm not stupid. Just don't say it now. All right. Welcome. It's called
longitude and latitude of his parents' new home.
Intro banter. No, but not that stuff. All right. Welcome to Eyes Wide Watch Club, everyone. We're back. It's our last episode of the year. We're coming into 2026. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. But yeah, it was Remington's turn to pick this time, so we're going to talk about The Black Pirate. Remington, why don't you kick us off, man, and introduce the film?
Why did I pick this again?
I don't know. Why did you?
Something about pirates?
You were in a pirate movie, I guess? I don't know.
I'm kidding. I know why I picked it. It's just been so long, boys, but we're here. We got this. We're going to talk about pirates today. Pirates are sick. That's today's mantra. Pirates are sick. So Yeah, no. So I kind of wanted this year to be kind of like our, at least on my end of things with the picks, to be kind of like an exploration of genre in a way, because I feel like what inspired this is I feel like there's always this like tension. It's less so amongst like the younger generation of cinephiles, I think, but like particularly amongst like older cinephiles and different auteurs and artists. There's always this tension in film between like drama and genre, whereas like drama is where the serious art is, and then genre is typically looked down on as schlock. I think in the past 20 years, we've had a bit of a correction on that, maybe too far in some ways, but basically the idea is that there's been more people who have come along and said, no, there are certain genre films which do actually have a lot of like artistic merit to them. And so to me, it's always interesting to think about like what are the different forms that film has takes. What is the different ways that this art can look like, can act like, can manifest as, and that's why I like organized my picks in the way that I did, where I started with a Western, right? I started with El Topo, and for this year, and that was not a traditional Western, but that was a Western nonetheless. And then I did the superhero genre with the Donner Cut, and we had fun talking about that. And then my last pick was I Walk with a Zombie, so we talked about the zombie genre because zombies are sick. And now we got a pirate movie, and conveniently, this sort of like sets up for like. Hello, Waffle. This sort of sets up for maybe some future picks as well, because it also was to our benefit that not only was this a pirate movie, it was a silent film, the first silent film that we've picked for the pod. And I wanted to set that too. So yeah, it was particularly, I wanted to talk about the swashbuckler genre and what it means to us and what we think about it and different takeaways we had from the film. I want to talk about the silent film medium, the silent film era, and what our relationship to that is and what our thoughts on that is, and maybe just like some looks at like what this older era of Hollywood was like, right? This film had some big names, right? Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford. Those were huge back in those days. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that too. So yeah, that's kind of what I got for us, boys. How do we like it? How do we like it?
Yeah. No, I thought it was pretty great. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I think because I'm not really attuned. What year are we talking again? Does anyone remember off the top of their
1926.
head? 1926?
Yeah.
Wow, that is impressive. Yeah, I remember I was watching this and I just had so many thoughts about just looking back at the time period, how much this must have been an accomplishment, and it's really impressive for the 20s, and I actually really love the story and the script. I thought it was actually really good. There were some really key takeaways that I kept thinking watching this movie, and I might save it for later because they're a little bit more like bigger conversations. But yeah, and it was super refreshing to see a pirate movie, which that's another thing that I feel like we don't have enough of these days. So yeah,
and that was the thing that like made me want to do. Sorry to cut you off. Just made me want to do swashbucklers because like other than Pirates of the Caribbean, which was like hasn't been big in like 20 years, we kind of don't have those kinds of movies anymore. They're kind of seen as like outdated, archaic. In similar ways, though, it's slightly changing with kind of like the traditional Western, which is also kind of seen as outdated. We have seen a bit of a comeback with that. Like definitely if Kevin Costner had been more successful in getting his Horizon saga out there, that kind of would have represented a return to the traditional Western. But for the most part, Westerns have been more in like the neo-Western and revisionist Western strain since basically the 80s, like from the 70s on. It was interesting to look in that way. Sorry, you can continue your thought. I'm sorry, but that was another big reason I had for picking pirates in particular.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, yeah, it was really great. Just watching I was just more fascinated with the production of it, and just thinking about what it must have taken to make something back in the day. And I feel like I say this on every episode, but when you grow up watching so many CGI and special effects driven stuff, I always go back to when I watch an older movie that's just like a guy in a rubber suit. I think to myself, oh my God, how did they do that? I'm just so much more impressed now when I go back and watch older things where they had to be done practically without any special effects. And especially we're going back to the 20s and seeing this big pirate ship and all the extras. I mean, there's things we can get into, but yeah, I was and yeah, I thought the story was actually really good. I really enjoyed the story. Yeah, so it was pretty great. I really appreciated the pick, and it it opens up my perspective a little bit to this time period of movies that I usually don't see. And I'm sure we'll get into it, but I know there's so much writing on this movie about the Technicolor aspect that I'm sure we'll get into of what but mainly all I just wanted to end on is just, I don't know how you guys watch this. I watched this on Tubi originally,
Me too.
later when you first recommended it. And
Real cinephiles watched it on Wikipedia.
well, I don't know what. So I watched it on Tubi.
The whole thing's on Wikipedia, just so you know.
Like a video file?
Yes, go look at the Wikipedia article for this movie. The whole thing's
I
on
didn't
there.
see
Yeah,
that.
it's probably like a link from the National Film Registry or something like that.
The whole thing's on there. I watched it on Tubi as well. But yeah, the whole thing is just on Wikipedia, which I thought I got such a kick out of that.
Public domain, booty.
Yeah.
Okay, this was like a little bit of a hack. I wish I knew, but I did kind of skim through it again before we came on tonight. But there was, after I finished watching it, I looked up on YouTube. I searched it on YouTube just to see if there were any like reviews or any like video essays on it or anything. The entire movie is also on YouTube. Like someone just uploaded it for free, and it is 90% better quality than the Tubi version. The Tubi version's like almost.
Oh, really?
I'm going to be honest. The Tubi version's almost unwatchable with how the lighting and stuff and how just it looks.
The lighting was, yeah.
I don't know if this has to do with the Technicolor. I click on the YouTube version and it's like 90 times better. I don't know if it's like a restoration or
curious.
what. It's insane.
Too.
It looks 30 times better on YouTube.
I felt okay. Yeah, 'cause I thought the Tubi was like, it's a very old movie that's been restored. So I assumed like, okay, yeah, like it's not gonna look perfect, but it is what it is. Are you going on YouTube on your like TV?
Yeah.
It was, but I was like, motherfucker. So I watched the last 30 minutes on YouTube before we came on because I just was in awe of how much better it looks. And again, I don't know if that has to do with there was a lot of
people
writing.
Just have it uploaded on YouTube.
It's like the first thing that comes up if you YouTube The Black Pirate. And but I was just shocked that the Tubi version is almost I'm just kind of almost unwatchable to a certain extent. But the YouTube version, I thought to myself, oh my God, did this exist in the 20s? And because there was a lot of writing about the Technicolor and about how there were like different prints of the film or something, and it was so hard to screen, or because it was like such a revolutionary thing. So I don't know if that's a restoration of it or if that version actually existed in the 20s, because that version is night and day as far as just the picture quality. I was stunned, but anyway. While Remington is searching it, Gene, what did you think?
No, I actually quite enjoyed it. Now I'm curious about the YouTube version. You mentioned it too. Like, one thing that I really just love out of the gate, and this is just because I happen to be alive in 2025, is like watching this movie and it's like, oh shit, this is all practical effects. These are all sets. And like they look like, and I want to talk about this too, like they look like stage sets, right? Like that, like immediately, like in the beginning when the pirates are raiding the ship, and it's like, oh, that's like a practical ship. And and you see the small boats, and I'm like, oh, like they're actually in water in this. Like, what the fuck? Like this isn't CGI. Like, and I didn't look up at like how they filmed it. I was curious, like, is this like a sound stage, or did they like go out and shoot this in the middle of the fucking ocean, like a lake? But like that, like immediately, like, and like the costume design, like it's all the set, like it looks great because it has to. It's all practical. And So and like the whole thing, like
Douglas Fairbanks did his own stunts.
oh, Remington. In the end, so you guys have done a little bit of background work, right? So that like there's a lot that goes into just background, especially when you have like such a large amount of background performers. That's a lot of coordinating, that's a lot of work for an AD. So once you get to the third act, I'm like, that's a lot of fucking background. And then they're like all just like in the water, piling on each other, trying to gun. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, these aren't stunt pro. There's no way in hell you would do this. Like, you legally cannot do it as a background actor. There's no way in hell you do that because like I'm watching this and I'm like, these people are doing this and drowning for the love of the game. Like, this is before we had all these safety things. This is before woke, is what I'm saying.
And that's why we have safety things now.
I know, no, I know, but like it's just like so it's like, and like yeah, we're all aware of the X-Files like thing, right? Like but like when you so we're all like aware, like yeah, there's
Twilight Zone
safety things, Twilight Zone that way, and and Alec Baldwin killing a person, we're all aware of that. But like just again, like when you watch these movies and you're like, oh shit, this is. Like you ever talk about Dan? Like can you imagine like shooting this? Like you're just like in the water in your pirate costume, like all these other background extra people, and you're like fucking scrambling all. Like it's insane. There's a one scene too where they're like dogpiling. Like you see people just dogpiling on one another. When they're in like that, like I think they're like below deck, and like you see them legitimately jumping on each other. It's so funny, and like I really appreciate that, right? Like just like the love, like you really have to love like what you're doing, and like just have like a love for performing and film and like dedication to like this craft to do something like this, right? Especially back then, because I mean the risk of injury is not exactly small. The risk of death is there, and so like that it's all the technical and like to me what stands out to me is just like all the things that happen to make a production come to life, right? Like especially for a movie like this where it's like, yeah, there's no CGI here. There's no green screen. This is all like these are all paid people in great costumes and on great sets, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
So-
and famously, shooting on water is one of the hardest
Dude,
things you can
Dude,
do.
the underwater swimming blew me away. I was like,
yeah, there was
what
all
the
those
fuck?
extras swimming
I was not
underwater.
expecting that. That was incredible.
How did they do that?
That's what I'm saying. How the fuck they do this? So that's what blew me away. Because you know what it is too. Like watching the movie, like the first like 2/3 of it. Like I'm like, oh, like it's fun watching a movie before like I was thinking about. I was like, damn, you could tell Kubrick just hadn't been invented yet because it's all just like there's not like tight close-ups. There's not a lot of camera movement, right? It's very like static in a lot of way. Like to me, it's like a stage framing, right? And that's how I thought. Okay, I was like, okay, 1926, sure. Like Stanley Kubrick hasn't been invented yet. But then you watch the third act, and I'm like, wait, never mind. What the fuck is going on? Like we're going full on balls to the wall now. Okay, I guess they were just saving the sauce for the end. But yeah, like Dan, I had the same thought. Like, how the fuck are you shooting this underwater? Like, I don't understand. I don't know.
Well, a lot of like. What were you
But
gonna
yeah,
say?
have you dug into like the product? Like, I didn't have a chance to like really like deep dive into like how they made this happen. I don't know if you have.
I didn't dig in like super big. Like the really big thing is that like Douglas Fairbanks had a particular vision of how he wanted this film to go. He's like a producer, and so he really wanted this to be in Technicolor. Like he fought for it to be in Technicolor, and it was like a whole big thing for him to make that happen. The fact that like everyone's doing their own stunts, that's just like what Douglas Fairbanks brought to the table. That's kind of like what he was known for. He'd been known for like the past 6 years or so. Like he really made his mark doing a similar kind of movie when he did Mark of Zorro, which I have seen. That's a really good movie. If you guys like this, you're gonna like Mark of Zorro. You should watch that, especially given its influence on Batman. As just not just as on Christopher Nolan, but like as the character as a whole. Like Mark of Zorro, really.
Yeah,
that's literally the movie. Canonically, that's the movie he's watching with his parents, that like just before they get killed.
Yeah.
So
Batman fact.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. But as far as like No, I personally did not. That was not my homework, Gene. But no, I was just gonna say, if you want to look at like, if you were like starved for like interesting camera choices, interesting shot choices, there are other silent films I can show you, my friend. Yes, it's true. A lot of like the theories and the know-how in this time is still like pretty young, right? Like the idea of like a feature film is only about like 15 to 20 years old, and the idea that you can like move pictures together to create like this seamless moving image is only about like 30 years old thereabouts, you know. So like these are early days for the art form. And so but there's stuff out there. I can go find you Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I can go find you Metropolis, Dr. Mabuse, all these things.
Well, yeah, exactly, because like, you know, at that point too, like I don't know how true this is, but my guess was like, okay, well, like, you know, the blueprint is like stage production, right? Actors, like, as far as an actor too. So it's like, okay, we're gonna more or less recreate that on a moving picture, and then as as technology advances too, and like you get to start playing with it, like, oh wait, I'm not limited by the stage anymore. I can fuck around with it, right? And you start to get that, right?
And like, I mean, yes and no, because like there isn't any sound, right? So like the thing about the old school sets is you could do whatever the fuck you wanted on the set as long as you weren't in front of camera when you weren't supposed to be. So like people were like talking and yelling and swearing and screaming and doing what is like, there's just way more chaos compared to like a like contemporary movie set, and so like actually in some ways you had to care about what the camera was doing more, because that's really all you had, to like get what you wanted. And so it really mattered what a person's face is doing, really mattered where they were standing. It didn't really become super stagey until you added in sound, and that's when you see a transition from like the transition from the silent film stars to like the stars of classic Hollywood who can actually act, because not every to be a good silent film star, you just had to look good on camera. You had to like know how to strike a good pose, have a good like presence. Have really know how to control your face. Whereas like once we had transitioned to sound, a lot of those actors who first made it big came from stage. They didn't. Not everyone made the transition very successfully, because those people knew how to enunciate. They knew how to do interesting inflections with their speech. They knew how to really get into a character. Not just be like a stock image. And so it was just like a different way of like thinking about how to make a film and how to do a film, and that's what's really like fascinating. That's why some people say that like silent film is really like cinema at its purest. Yeah,
I mean, so like this actually is my first ever silent film. I've never watched them before, so my only.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, Dan, was this your first one?
Was Birth of a Nation silent?
Yes, Birth of a Nation is silent.
Okay, then that counts. So yeah, but that's,
Dan, why'd you watch that
only
one?
I think I actually watched it in high school or something.
Why'd you watch that one, Dan? What do you have to?
I took a film class in high school.
Dan,
no, it's like it's important to like film history.
I got really into the Lost Cause for a while there. Anyway,
no, I just went, but that and I also went through a period of that, Mein Kampf, some Reddit rabbit holes. But, you guys hear about this Nick Fuentes character? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway,
my only idea of it was like what you see in like TV shows now, right? Like Family Guy and like stuff, like when they're like they're referencing it. So, like they always present, it's a very heavily condensed version, right? For like a cutaway. So it's like, pantomime, like you're speaking, and then like the dialogue immediately is just shown. So that was my idea of it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's not what it is. It's not that at all. Like there's a lot going on without the text cards, like the first like 10-15 minutes of this movie are that, and I thought that was incredible. Like it's like you said, you really forced to convey the story without dialogue, and I found that incredibly fascinating. But like it's still got like you're still following the action, right? And you're getting the title cards like setting up like setting up like the like the No Honor Among Thieves, the Merchantman ship. You get those little things to you're moving the plot along, but you can still follow what's going on. I found the use of the when his father dies, so he like writes down his vow. Like, you don't have to use a title card for that because it's already happening in the story, and you're conveying what's like. I thought that was actually really impressive. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with this. Just like seeing like, hey, how do you convey a story when there's no dialogue, like there's no spoken dialogue, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you guys like this.
No,
Yeah.
I loved it. And one of the things, so if you look at I think you mentioned, Gene, you looked at the Wikipedia page, but the Wikipedia page is huge for this movie. It is one of the longer. It's crazy how much writing there is on this movie in the Wikipedia alone. A lot of it has to do. It gets really into the nitty gritty technology stuff that I don't understand about Technicolor and all of that stuff at the time, and how it was. I guess this was like a really landmark film, or like groundbreaking, I guess, at the time. One of the things I believe I'm getting this right. I read this about the production. Just the amount that went into, like, there was concept art anyway, but I guess what part of the production was, I guess in California off the coast, there's like this island that a lot of movies were shot there at that time, like this little remote island. And I don't know, maybe it's even still used to this day, but it's frequently used to shoot movies. And I think there was if I'm remembering correctly, there was a picture of the island and there was the pirate ship set. So they built pretty much like almost like a full pirate ship to shoot on. And I was also wondering too, so that's just like the little tidbit I know about the production. But yeah, some of the stuff I was even wondering, the actual shots of the establishing shots of the ships sailing.
Those miniatures? I thought they're miniatures.
That's what I would assume what they would have had to have done. But number one, I don't even know if we're talking the 20s. I don't even know if miniatures were a thing back then, if they even had that, invention yet to do that in filmmaking. Number two,
making a mini ship, Dan.
But no, I just don't know if
Nobody
that
ever thought to make a tiny thing of a bigger thing before. Their caveman brains were too small.
They used to put them in bottles, Dan.
It
Have
was
you seen
way-
a ship in a bottle?
Well, I was gonna say, even if it is a miniature, it is a damn good looking miniature. It was really convincing. I don't know what, but
yeah, Remy, do you know? Yeah, I was curious if you knew like how they did the establishing shots of the ship sailing.
for all I know, it could have been a real ship.
Where's George Lucas? He probably knows since he
Yeah.
loves using miniatures.
But,
You know what, Dan? Yeah, that's why it wasn't miniatures because he hadn't invented industrial light and magic yet. You're right, Dan.
yeah, man.
It's totally true. Go off, King.
What was I gonna say?
Let's see.
Every time.
What was I?
Every time.
Yeah, what was
I don't
I?
understand why she's just.
Hi, Maya.
Maya, you have to go back to bed.
R is going on.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, Maya.
She can't hear that. Hold on. Here.
Hi, Maya.
Hi.
All right. Where's your mom? Where's your mom?
Someone's car
I gotta
alarm was
take- get
going
her
off.
upstairs.
Something
I
weird.
want to.
Yes, you have to.
They want to eat me.
No.
I want my mommy to sleep.
I really can't. Where's your mom? I gotta call Miriam to come grab her.
Gotcha.
All right. So Dan Vamp.
One of the things that I was really impressed by too was the story. I actually really loved that the main guy, whatever I don't even remember the character's name, but they introduce the bald guy, the pirate captain, and he kills him in the first act, and he assumes dominance over the crewmates. I remember reading the log line of the movie, and I don't even think it mentioned that in there. So that was a big surprise to me. And I thought, oh wow, they have the nice big swashbuckling sword fight in the beginning, and then it becomes like a power struggle, of this guy is now basically taking over the pirate ship. And I didn't think that's what the movie was going to do at all. So yeah, I really enjoyed the story as well. I don't know what you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it looks like the way that they did this is they those like outdoor scenes they filmed on that island. But the like interiors of the boat, that's like a set that they built. That's not like actually in a boat. That's like they filmed that in a set that they built. But then for the exteriors, the interiors of the boat, for the exteriors of the boat, they built like not like a life-size boat, but they built a boat, not a miniature either. It was like a boat that if you filmed it at the right angle, at the right distance, it looked like it was big, and they shot it in a studio pool. And then they had like basically these propellers in the water that made it look like it was waves, essentially.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of the shots, like when you have a shot of like the side of the ship, right? People are congregating like around it, you have like the smaller rowboats, like that. I was like, yeah, you can like even like a stage, you can build like the side of a ship, right? And if you shoot it from a certain angle, you're hiding that it's not a full ship. So that like a lot of those shots gave me like vibes of like a stage production, right? Because James Cameron hadn't been invented yet, so Titanic didn't exist yet. That's cool. So basically not miniatures, but like it sounds like still pretty like sizable ships that they built. Dan, regarding the story, Wikipedia, the wiki stated that like, and to segue into something I want to ask you, like they kind of kept the story a little simple because of all the technical stuff they wanted to do, like the Technicolor stuff. So like, why was it a fight for Technicolor, Remington? Like, so the director wanted it. So was it like expensive, or like the studio didn't want to pay for it, or what was the issue?
It was extremely challenging.
Yeah, it was new. It was challenging. They didn't know if people would care about it, right? Would it make people think the movie's ugly? Would they not want to see it if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, would it fuck up the film print and they couldn't like get their movie out there? It was like a very novel technology.
And it happened already though by this point?
No, Wizard of Oz is 1939, boy.
Oh shit! Yeah,
this is 1926.
Got it. Yeah.
Wizard of Oz is a sound film. We don't get the first sound film for like another year with the jazz singer.
Yeah.
This is pre-sound.
Yeah. So it would have been. So it's basically like investment wise, like it's a very risky investment because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. This movie is older than the Academy Awards, dude.
Fair enough. Well, so I read how the colors he used were very purposeful, meant to look like American paintings. Like I thought it was actually really, really cool, and I think that came across very well too. I love the color palette in this movie. It looks great.
Yeah. So this movie is done well before you can ever have green screen or like any type of like CGI background, and so obviously matte paintings are a thing, but even like the institution of being a matte painter doesn't really exist yet, so they're literally just hiring actual professional painters, not matte painters, just like regular ass painters who are just drawing on either their work experience or like from their like school days, like different artists they've been inspired by to go and do those background paintings. Like this is very early days.
Yeah, like you literally like you're really just figuring it out, like you're inventing filmmaking, right? Yep. In a lot of ways. So you got a lot of fun with that. Something that really stuck that I guess I would never thought, like there's just like a soundtrack playing the entire time, like just music playing the entire time, which again something that I don't know if like other silent movies do that, or it's like a staple of the era.
It varies.
Okay.
So like sometimes some movies do have, some silent films did have a score, and it was very intentionally made and very intentionally included. Other times there are silent movies that didn't have a score when they were first released, but because they are so famous and so influential, that oftentimes when they are restored because of like modern sensibilities or whatever, different composers will be invited to contribute scores to the film to like add something basically to the palette. In this case, this score I believe was intentionally created, so everything you're hearing is along with the vision of everyone who worked on it. Basically,
it felt very intentional, but something that stuck out to me a lot, especially like it first occurred to me during the first sword fight on the island, was like the score doesn't change much, and like my modern day brain is so used to like action scene, the score has to be a lot more bombastic and intense, right? Like you know, hand in hand, your score, your soundtrack is evoking the feelings of the scene. This one, not so much, which like it's not a bad thing. It's just like such a difference that like my modern day brain is like, oh shit, that's very noticeable to me. Which I thought again, like it's very interesting because again, like you're just kind of in creating it as it happens, right?
So yeah, like all of like the tricks of like using a score to like get the audience's feelings where you want them to be, you know, that doesn't exist quite yet. You know, like that's not uniformly there. So really, all you're doing is just like creating a little basic classical music composition, you know, just to like play along, so ever we're plodding along, doing our thing.
You know what's interesting about that is like, you know, we have opera, we had plays back then. You know, you still have, you so like we still had the idea of like you have a score go along with like a play or an opera, right? So it's funny how
No one's singing.
Well, yeah, I guess it's just like you still have like your pit, which your orchestra who is performing along.
Okay, but no one who's making that movie is listening to that music while they're making it. You know what I'm saying? This is all done after the fact. You know,
Right. It's a tool in the toolkit of cinema that's not like a thing yet. So they can't rely on that.
To me, it's interesting how it wasn't taken from like other musical stage productions by that point. Because like,
well, I'm telling you, like, why would it be? Because it's like if you're doing an opera, everyone's learning the songs, right? Everyone's learning how to sing this thing, and then they're performing it together in rehearsals, and then they're performing it on stage in front of an audience. If you're doing a musical, you're learning the songs and learning the lines of the plays in your rehearsals, and then you're going and doing it in front of the audience. When you're making a silent film, you and your collaborators are building a set, and everyone's doing everything they need to do in front of the camera, and then it's going to get edited, you know, and then the film has to go out and get like, you know, preserve, you have to get printed, and then maybe they think of like, oh, maybe we should have some music, and they throw the music in, but then you need like you need a movie theater that can project it with music, you know, like that's a whole thing. Like
it's not an integral ingredient to the whole process. Like it's more time consuming, more expensive back then. Like I get it. It's not a priority like today.
And it's not like now where I might have a speaker, or I can just whip out my phone and be like, hey, actors, when you do this scene, think of this song in your head. They can't do that, right? You have to go and get the cellist. You have to go and get someone to play piano, right?
Yeah, like James Gunn notably will play the songs like on set.
Yeah,
like this is the song that's going to play during the scene. I get what you're saying.
So
fun stuff.
I was just mentioning, Gene, to Remington about the story, just how much I thought it was really good. Just as far as like a screenplay or just the events that transpire. Going into the movie, I was under the impression, you know, after they take over his ship and kill his father and all that scene where they're all tied up and they're pouring the gunpowder, I was so into it. And I thought the whole thing was he was going to infiltrate the crew and kind of be undercover. I was not prepared for the main bad guy with the bald head in the beginning, the captain. He does the sword fight, and then he kills them, and then he goes and then he takes over the crew. I didn't see that coming at all. So I don't know I thought the story was actually really good. I really liked it.
Yeah. You know, it was a little like bare bones, but like it was really engaging, and it really serviced like what they were trying to do by just being this like showcase for like, you know, cool stunts and like you know, an impressive and like, you know, a good vehicle for the colors being used and stuff like that. So like I had fun with it. It's definitely so like another interesting thing I should say about the fact that it is, you know, so simple is that it's also exemplary of the swashbuckler genre. Not in its simplicity, but the fact that because they just wanted a more formulaic story, a more typical story for the type of movie that they were making, so that way you could focus on other things. Well, it has all the classic ingredients, right? He swears a vow on someone's deathbed to go and do something. There is a damsel in distress, right? There are these great like little action moments where he swings in to like help people and stuff, and like do all these like glorious things. It's really quite a little charming picture in that way.
Yeah. Actually, that's something that also like I'm not. We may have touched upon this when you introduced this last time. Like, so this is not the first pirate movie, but I was just like taken with how much of the pirate stuff is already like in this, like established, right? Like Walking the Plank and you saw the
Jolly
whole
Roger.
Jolly Roger, and like the language too. Like when the text shows up, like it's the piratey talk, which I thought was really fun. Like
So what this is that they've all read Treasure Island, right? So they're all kind of doing like they're not, you know, it's not Treasure, it's not an adaptation of Treasure Island, but they're all thinking about like Treasure Island, right? Because they've all read Treasure Island, and then there were like a few other like earlier, less successful, less well known films from like the 1910s that had been like pirate films and stuff. So like they knew what they were playing with when they genreized, when they made this. It's not like they invented the wheel with that. Yeah. But that's what it is. That's where all of these like tropes and ideas come from, which is like certain historical figures who have stayed with us for whatever reason, like Blackbeard, etc., Captain Kidd. But then B, namely like in terms of pop culture, Treasure Island. Treasure Island is only like, I want to say 40 years old at this point. Yeah. So it's as far away to them as like, you know, the Breakfast Club is to us, so that's like what the milieu that they're playing in when they're making this movie.
I don't know, man. Not a single devil fruit, so not pirately enough.
He's like, do better, Douglas Fairbanks, do better.
Well, and there's
like,
even
who's gonna be king of the pirates? I don't get it. What's the point?
And there's even the stunts that he does where he's jumping around the sails. There's the one when I think it's when he takes over the ship to prove himself to the crew. I think he does a thing where he jumps up or jumps down or something. It looked like it. I felt like there was a shot that must have been they shot it in reverse. Like it's him swinging up somewhere, but I don't know exactly, but it looked like some of this stuff was genuinely. Yeah, the stunt's really impressive when he's jumping around all the sails. I just had myself thinking, how did he do this? He
was a mad lad. That's how he did it. That's really the answer for like all of these like silent era actors who like believe in their stunts and do their own stunts, is that they were mad lads and they were committed to the bit, and that's why they went and did it. Because it's like, I'm going to recommend it because if you guys like this type of stuff so much, these like silent films that feature a lot of action, watch anything by Buster Keaton ever.
I was going to say I want to get into Buster Keaton.
I've seen clips and it's like oof.
So what I'm hearing is that movie night, boys night, watch The General.
Sure.
All right, sure.
It's on my list.
Yeah. Do that.
And there's also, you know what? And I can't praise enough how like I don't know, going into a silent movie from the 20s, I was not expecting much, right? But even this movie has side characters. There's the main villain that ends up being the one pirate that's kind of scheming against him, that doesn't trust him, and then there's the pirate with the one arm, the old guy that like helps him out. It was so good. It just was all these pieces were there, and the story didn't go in a place that I thought, and I liked the idea that he was manipulating this entire crew, and then that lends itself so well to like you said, Remington, to show off the production of the movie, because so many shots are him like making these big speeches to the crew with all these extras and everything, and it was just I was just so damn thoroughly impressed. I loved it. But
yeah. Speaking of the effects, the practicality, I love the shot when they're like pulling him up. He's like rising up through, like they're all like taking turns like pulling him up, and it's like the way it's shot was like so cool. Like it's like he's like right in the middle, and he's just going up, and I'm like, how the fuck did you shoot this? Like it's fun. Like I'm watching the movie, like how did you shoot this? I don't understand how you did this. It's so good. I really enjoyed the sword fighting because I thoroughly enjoy when a movie like It's actually the reason why I really like the episode 4. Like it's just like it's like more like a real like sword fight. Like you watch Pirates of the Caribbean and they're kind of just like doing this, but it's like no, they're like actually fencing because like it's like they're pulling from these actual like techniques, right? And you see that like it's like the one thing that stands out to me when you watch A New Hope, and it's like the only time they ever fight like that, and then they don't fight like that ever again.
Right.
But it's like I just appreciate when you see that because it's like a real sword fight. It's like and it's like a little long in this, but a real sword fight's not very long. Like because the minute you get poked by a sword, like you're done. And rapier is a very effective weapon. You're getting pokey with it.
Yeah.
I certainly enjoyed that. And there was times where like it kind of moves a little fast. Talking about, did you catch that, Dan? And I'm like, is that just because the film or like I don't know? It's
I don't know. Yeah, did they have the?
It felt like sped up in a way, like. But I mean, like film is very delicate, right?
Right.
I wanted to look up more about the restoration for this and how well preserved this movie has been. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, there's
because film is, yeah. No, you go because like.
There's a lot of writing on it on the Wikipedia page, and yeah, there's so much detail it goes into about it, and a lot of it is about that Technicolor aspect. That's when I discovered it on YouTube. I was obsessed with thinking, wait a minute, is this a more modern restored version of the film, or was this part of was this, because that was I forget exactly, like there was like not 2 cuts of the film, but there was like a better I'm like botching this, but I feel like I somewhere mentioned that there was like a better version with the Technicolor, and then there was so I'm wondering if that really good looking version I saw on YouTube was available when the movie came out. So I don't know, but yeah.
Maybe. And it's just preservation too. Like okay, like I was actually one of my good friends, he lives in Florida. He's really into physical media, and he showed me a few VH tapes he got recently, and I've never seen what mold looks like on a VHS tape. Have you ever seen it, Dan?
Oh no.
It's white. It's like white specks, and he was telling me, he was like, it's actually like, he's like, so you're not supposed to put it in your VHS player because it'll like spread to like the player itself, and then spread to any tapes you play subsequently. So he was kind of a little bummed. He's like, "Oh shit, I can't play this now." And I asked him, I was like, "Is it like a way to clean it?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Probably, but it's probably super difficult, because film is very fragile." He was telling me how like it basically it's a sure sign of improper storage, and I'm like, yeah, like storing film is a bitch. So it just makes you think of like all the films that all these movies like from back then that have are still around because of digital, right? But I'm like, are there do they have the originals anywhere? Like I don't know.
Okay, so looking into this regarding this like different version issue. All right, so again, remember, Technicolor is like a brand new, novel thing. It's a new technology, and so what happened was, per the Wikipedia, while specialized operators had supervised the screening of the premieres, many difficulties arise during the screening in ordinary theaters. In particular, because projectionists, after screening black and white newsreels, because remember, trailers it wasn't always trailers that they were screening before movies. They were like literal newsreels, like the news, and then if there was like kids there would be like a cartoon, playing, that kind of thing.
War stuff from the government.
Well, this is like after World War One.
I know. I'm just making a joke. Buy war bonds, kids. Support the boys overseas.
So after playing the black and white newsreels, they were refraining from changing the setting of their projectors, despite the recommendations given to them by Technicolor to avoid problems related to operating errors. Basically, the double emulsion process not only poses problems with adjusting the sharpness of the projection, but also makes the film more prone to scratches and poor workmanship, such as air bubbles between the 2 glued strips that create blurring. In addition, the humidity variations in the contraction caused by the heat released by the arc lamps of the projectors created curves that prevented focus and sometimes caused the film to detach, making it unusable. It was then necessary. So basically, like,
because switching from black and white newsreels, like all of like the previews and stuff, to color was like a pain in the ass. So they didn't always switch to the color properly, and so it like fucked up the film. And so like rather than like taking steps to prevent the film from fucking up, they just like returned it. So it didn't screen in enough places, which then caused like Technicolor to like try to like fix their process, and that's why there's like 2 or 3 different versions that look a little bit different depending on the one that you have. And it was those like improved processes that look like a little worse that were the ones that could actually make it to theaters and they could do like a wide proper distribution. It wasn't until later that they were able to find copies of like the older version, which looked better, but it was the one that was like fucking up people's projectors because projectionists just weren't handling it properly. Enough copies of that apparently existed that they were able to do it because it was like released to enough theaters that they could like hold on to the copies, and then like enough existed for like later restorations in the future. So that's basically what happened. It's literally Technicolor 1, Technicolor 2, Technicolor 3.
Wow.
Interesting.
Or the different versions. Yeah.
You know who would have fucked it up? David Cornsweat. He would have treated it properly.
Is that a
His character in Pearl?
is that
His
a
character
Pearl?
in
Yeah,
Pearl.
that's a
He's-
Pearl reference.
He's
Okay,
a
I got that.
projectionist. He's like literally like a huge like cinema dude. Like
Yeah.
in Pearl. And
Yeah.
And I also found out, Dan, how he did the sail trick. Basically, it was not actually, on a giant mast on a giant boat. It was like it's just like a little sail over like a little boat, and he's just like it's just like slightly angled, but it's not shot that way. And so he's just like sliding down it a little bit while there's like a fan going and there's like a propeller underneath and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like that's how he did it.
Movie magic, baby.
Yeah.
the director like, no, I want you to go up there and risk your life for this.
That's like what you were bringing up, Gene, earlier too. Of like, I remember I was thinking this watching the movie. I thought, oh my god, this must have been so much fun for everyone to film, and it also must have been so dangerous. Oh my god, yeah, like watching some of that stuff.
But again, even without fun, like just it's I mean, dude, coordinating like that many people, like I was legitimately like very pleasantly surprised, but just how much like talent they had on screen at once. Like it's a lot of people,
and how
you
much.
know? And
So like another big thing about this is that this is like one of the first big ventures done by United Artists. United Artists, very famous studio in Hollywood history, no longer exists anymore, but it came to be because it was that D.W. Griffith, who made Birth of the Nation, Mary Pickford, who was like the biggest movie star of her time at this time, literally the original America's Sweetheart, and Douglas Fairbanks, this great leading man, poured all their money, their resources, their reputations together to make their own film studio so that they had independent control of the stuff they were doing from the existing studios at the time. And this movie was one of their first big ventures that they were doing as a result of creating United Artists. I believe United Artists is now owned by Amazon. I'd have to double check. It no longer exists, but it is like considered it eventually grew. It's kind of like what A24 is now and where A24 is going, where it's going to be like this giant rival studio. It grew to be part of the studio system. But yeah, that's like also what's happening here, and that's why it's like a fun little wink and the nod that Mary Pickford takes the place of the other actress who plays the female protagonist. I forget her name, the love interest, and she replaces her in that final shot for the kiss scene. So that way, if you were in the audience at that time, you're like, oh, it's her. It's like going, oh, it's Julia Roberts, or oh, it's Margot Robbie, because we live in like the 2020s now, So like, yeah, that's what it would have been like.
Wow.
nice.
No, super fascinating.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
This
you
is another
guys. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No. This something that comes up often, like in this. It's like another one where it's like, just the production and like everything about making the movie is just so interesting, you know, these are actually some of my favorite episodes that we do. Like we're not so much discussing like the movie story itself, but like everything that around it, right? Like just everything that went into making it, and like just because especially because of time, it's really it's fascinating and it's very important. You know, I love when Remington picks these because it's like, you know, it's a milestone and a very important, you know, it all led to Marty Supreme is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I love the story too, though. I like really loved it.
And I love it too because like, you know, it's like Remington said, it's nothing crazy, but it's like it's a fun classic story, right? You know, you have the hero,
Yeah.
and, you know, he rescues the girl, and you know, they're not reinventing the wheel here, where it's like he vows revenge, and even the way he does it, where he like infiltrates the crew, right? It's nothing new, but like, you know, they have the kiss at the end, like I mean, listen, if it ain't broke, you know, like it's fun, you know.
So it's like, you know, they had pirate movies before, and they've had their other leading men. But like another reason why this movie is like this is that Douglas Fairbanks has a certain image, and that image informs the types of characters that he would play, that he would want to play. So when he was younger and first getting started, he was like regarded as like this Peter Pan figure who's like, you know, this young buxom lad who's like running around and being cool and jumping around. And he wanted this movie to represent his like maturation, you know, because now he's like a little older. He's not old. I think he's like in his 30s, but like he's older. He's not like a kid, you know, and so he wanted this to be like, it's an adventure story, and he's firmly an adult man going then to kick ass, but he's not like a child, and so like the fact that yes, he does look strong, and yes, he is doing his own stunts, and yes, he does get the girl, is because that's what Douglas Fairbanks wants to be portrayed as in the movie that he's spending all his money on, you know, all his money and his company's money on to make, you know. That's another how that gets into the movie. And it's funny how like those things that were just like to soothe one person's ego are now like these like defining tropes, you know, like across the art form and across the genre.
Yeah, he wanted to be taken seriously as an actor after his days of being a child Disney star ended. You know, they got.
Never heard that one before, you know.
No, super loved it. I wanted to pose just this one question. I'll pose it to you first, Remington, and when Gene comes back. What do you think? Why haven't we gotten back to the pirate genre? Do you think it's going to happen? Why do you think it's taken so long? Or what was it? Just Pirates of the Caribbean being so dominant in our modern age? Why are pirate films no longer a thing?
I don't know. I think that like, because it's interesting. So like, you'd think that they wouldn't be, because we have this like pivot to realism, and that's kind of been like influential over like the past like 30 or 40 years. And this pivot to realism, you would think would mean that there would just be more movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, where you just which are not necessarily realistic films. There's definitely fantasy elements, but the idea that you have like boats and men fighting, and they speak in accents, and they look nasty, you know, and they drink rum, you know, like yes, there's fantasy elements, there's giant monsters and magic and shit, but it's not like, you know, you're not looking at it through rose-colored glasses. You know what I'm saying? That's what we mean when we say like realism combined with like the digital cinematography. So you'd think there'd be more. I have to wonder if just modern audiences find this type of movie, like when it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, where you're also doing like insane stunts and you're also throwing in like a weird mythology, when you don't have those things and it's just like a soppy love story with like someone running around and being ridiculous, but also is like the coolest wonderkind. Like I wonder if people just think that's ridiculous,
I wonder if maybe we're just like too far removed from like the age of sail, right? Like the passenger liners have not been a thing in like 50 years. Like the most if you're getting on a boat for an extended period, it's usually a cruise. Not everyone can afford to do that. And that's certainly far removed from the pirate experience. So like I just wonder if we're too far removed. I don't know. It would take some pondering because like part of what's special about. Yeah, because we're talking about like why those aren't as much a thing anymore. Because part of what makes Pirates of the Caribbean special is that it's literally the idea. It was a theme park ride. Like they were just looking for a movie to put out, and they were just like, what fucking IPs do we own already? We have this pirate ride that we made in the '60s. That's an IP that we own and we haven't done anything. Like, let's make a movie out of that. You write up a script for me, and we'll see what happens. That's like part of why so people already had like a vague connection through there, and then they just struck gold by like casting someone like Johnny Depp, who was willing to like take a character like Jack Sparrow and put it into like legendary status, like something that was just instantly going to be iconic to people. And I just don't know if you could, lightning doesn't always strike twice, like once you have something that unique, I don't know if it can be replicated again. Like I don't know. It's why superheroes and not pirates? I guess that's the question.
Well, I wonder. I mean,
no.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think there is an element of it has been so dominated by just the pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean essentially had such a monopoly on that entire genre. If you were going to release a pirate movie around the same time when the Pirates of the Caribbean movies were still being made, then you're just dead you're just DOA, like dead on arrival, or I'm surprised studios didn't try to replicate that. But you get, even I think of something like the Western, we still have modern Westerns a lot, or just things maybe not in cowboy hats and in the desert, but we will have very like versions of Westerns today. I feel like that still exists, but I wonder with
Coen Brothers' True Grit,
right, exactly.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Crawford, I'm sure there's a Horizon.
They just made
Horizon,
Rust.
Yeah.
The Alec Baldwin movie.
Rust is there. A lot of Westerns actually, like they don't. It's usually made by some like niche studio, and they don't get wide releases. It's like few exceptions, like the ones I just quoted to you, that like are made by known auteurs and then still get the wide releases. And it's usually not a traditional Western. It's usually something a little offbeat, like Ballad of Buster Scruggs, right?
Right.
Or something like that.
But the whole that has stayed more, that's had more lasting power than like a pirate story. Like the two biggest pirate things in the past like 20-25 years have been Pirates of the Caribbean and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Incredible game, by the way.
Well, if we're contrasting with the Western, the clear answer why does the Western remain is the Western is American. It's fundamentally American. It's like our culture reflecting our conquest of the West, which is the central story for making the country the way that it is. Whereas like the pirate genre, that's sort of like, that's not. It's a little American. There is a little bit of like American dream in there, but it's mostly like colonial, and it's mostly just like very like quasi-European, and it's not fundamentally American as like say the Western, or even say the superhero genre. The superhero genre, like those are our stories. We made those comic book characters. We didn't. Pirates Treasure Island, that's Scottish. Robert Louis Stevenson, he's a Scottish man. He was a Scottish man.
I don't know, Remington, the Letter of Mark is coming back, so might be our time.
Bring it back, baby.
We're bringing back the Letter of Mark. I was so, when I read, I tagged you because I'm like, one of the most little known parts of the Constitution is Congress can't issue letters of marque. It's like no one, they don't do it anymore. They don't do it anymore, but that's why I was like, that's why I commented. I was like, real Americans get it the old-fashioned way. from Congress, baby.
Yeah, there was also
Um,
that HBO show recently that was short-lived, that Taika Waititi show, Our Flag Means Death, that I think was a pirate show.
There's also I think it's called Black Sails. That's also had a few
Oh.
seasons.
Yeah.
That's one of the shows I want to watch. On my
Yeah. Pirates are seen as goofy. It's kind of like, I feel like the pirate genre, again, the exception being Pirates of the Caribbean, but putting that aside, as a whole, in 2025, I feel like the pirate genre is kind of like thought of kind of like how people were like clown on the Silver Age of comics like 20 years ago. Now we have a little more respect for it, but like when the Dark Knight trilogy is coming out, people would think of like that era of comics as like inherently ridiculous. That era of like even like superhero media in general is inherently ridiculous because like all the tropes were silly, right? It's like, oh, this happened. Thank goodness I have my this happened pellet gun that I can shoot out to fix this problem. You know. And yes, I do wear a colorful and ridiculous costume. Yes, so it's one of those things where these tropes get like so tried and overdone, and everyone's seen them before, and they're just not interesting, and they lose resonance with a modern audience of an increasingly fast-paced, highly technologized society about these stories of like these sweeping, dashing men on these like boat rides, and yeah, who are with their billowy shirts trying to save the girl and have these like over choreographed sword fights, and yeah, I guess that's what it is. I guess that's as close to an answer as I'm gonna get.
I'm sure, you know what, now that I think of it, I'm sure there's even more of a practical answer too, where, you know, it's you have to shoot on water somehow, you know, and where with Westerns, you can just go out to the desert, you know, and
Yeah.
it also
Yeah.
has to be a period piece. I mean, I know Westerns, you know, period pieces are not cheap, but yeah, like you have to shoot on the water in some way, shape, or form. And you also, whether you're in a studio or not, and you still have to be in water, and you also have to, it has to be a period piece. So it probably can't really be done that much on an indie level, I would imagine.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, I just feel like, man, I don't know. It's funny, when I was like watching this, I just kept thinking about this because how much I was enjoying it, because I feel like I haven't seen a pirate movie in so long, and that's like a whole genre that you can do. But mainly it just feels like now that we're kind of winding down the superhero boom, and clearly all the signs are pointing to the next thing is going to be video game adaptations and anime adaptations, whether it be, you know, cinematic movies of anime shows or live action adaptations. It's clear that that's where everything's going. But I feel like there could be a more, I know it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is the next big pirate movie we get is going to be another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. They've been talking about a Margot Robbie one for a while now, or like with Ayo Edebiri or something that's been floating around for a while. But I
don't need it though. Those first three movies are so good, and the fourth and fifth one are just so dog ass, dude. Like they're so bad. And also Johnny Depp is evil, and I don't like him, and we don't need to revive his career in any way. We can just let him be in the past, you know? So that's my hot take. Hot takes.
Yeah, I just would love to return to like a big pirate, like an original pirate, or it could be based off just something other than Pirates of the Caribbean would be so refreshing. So I hope to see my wish fulfilled one day. I will be there. But you know what I gotta say?
If you want movies on the water, Dan, guess what? In 2026, there's a movie on the water coming towards you. It's called Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Comes out June or July or whatever. I don't fucking know.
It's swords and sandals. It's adjacent, but yeah. So I'm pumped.
Yeah.
You know what I gotta. This is the last thing I gotta bring up, because I was just thinking about this and getting so excited just imagining this in my head and wanting to will it into existence. So I'm watching this movie called The Black Pirate, right? And it's like this swashbuckling, big, and the story's really good. These 3 words kept popping into my head, and I kept imagining it in my head, and I was having so much fun thinking about it, and now I want it to happen. Robert Eggers remake. I kept thinking, oh my god,
Robert Eggers Treasure Island.
Or something.
Robert Eggers Treasure Island.
Yeah.
That would be so good, dude.
I mean, he's done.
Robert Eggers Treasure Island.
Has he ever talked about it?
No, but it's in the wheelhouse. It's lighthouses, Vikings, vampires. He could do pirate. It would fit so perfect.
I mean, Lighthouse is like pirate adjacent if you think about it.
Well, I mean, to an extent. I mean, Vikings isn't that far off either. But I mean, oh my God, just do a pirate movie, please, Robert Eggers. Do a pirate movie. I kept thinking about that. Like, Robert Eggers is the Black Pirate. I thought, oh my God, I can see it in my head. And I just thought, oh God, that would be amazing. But,
and it'll be based on a real treasure map.
Yeah, he'll do the real research. Oh man. But so yeah, it was pretty great experience to watch it. I don't know, you guys, anything else you guys wanted to touch on?
I would the thing I would say is a couple more things actually. Would you guys, what other than Pirates of the Caribbean and this, what other pirate movies have you guys seen?
Just that one.
I don't really know of too many others.
What is it? Is it Disney's animated Treasure? Was it Treasure Planet? Whatever.
Treasure Planet.
I've watched that like years and years and years.
That
ago.
rocks. That movie rocks. By the way, you should show that to Maya.
Was that a pirate movie?
Like I haven't. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, because I don't know. I haven't. I just play Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Just play that, Remington. It's a fun game.
Let me think. You've never seen a single adaptation other than Treasure Planet. You've never seen any other Treasure Island adaptations. You haven't seen the Muppets did a Treasure Island adaptation. I forgot what it's called.
Yes, they did. Muppets Treasure Island.
Yes, Muppets Treasure Island with Tim Curry as Long John Silver.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you brought that up. I was thinking about that earlier in this discussion and I lost the thought. Oh my God, yes, Remington, guys, I grew up with that VHS. I loved Muppets Treasure Island as a kid. Oh my God,
Dan's gonna watch it tonight.
Dude, I actually might. I remember watching that as a kid, and it like that to me was like Christopher Nolan when I was a kid. I thought that Muppets movie blew my fucking mind when I was a kid. I would watch, and yeah, the guy is Long John Silver was so. I thought that guy was like Marlon Brando to me in that movie. I just thought, oh my God, this guy's amazing. But fuck, I need to watch that. I might need to watch that again now. But
hell yeah. Okay, and so do you feel like this is like, because I know you guys have talked about how like you hadn't really seen many silent films before. Do you feel like this would make you want to check out more silent films as a result, now that you can see what they can do?
Yeah, like I was never like opposed to it, but like yeah, this is definitely a good a gateway one for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely would. I've had Buster Keaton, in my background for a while now. Think something I want to start exploring. But yeah, no, other than that,
definitely look into those silent comedies, because a lot of them rely, because there's no dialogue, right? So you can't just have like quippy one-liners like modern comedies. So the way that they get by is by doing like gags, like crazy stunts and gags that just look hilarious on screen. And a lot of them are like either like so technically genius or like genuinely life endangering. In the case of like the General,
it was
so.
The house falling on him, right? That was Buster Keaton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely would like push you in his direction and in the direction of like movies by like Harry Lloyd. He's the one who did Safety Last. So for like the comedies and like the stunts and things. But if you want something maybe like a little more artistic, but not like insufferable, let's put it that way, something to like wet your whistle and then so you can move further in that direction if you like it, I would recommend The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Okay.
That's a horror movie, an early horror movie. Very well done.
Any
Very
horror
well
director
done.
that you like has probably recommended that one. Del Toro loves that movie, right?
Del Toro loved. Actually, I actually saw that movie. I mean, it'd be on the list, but my impetus for going to see it was because Del Toro had like a little spiel on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a very formative one for Del Toro, Dan.
Okay.
And then if you want something like crazy, Metropolis. Go check out Metropolis.
Oh, I need to see Metropolis.
Basically, like the science fiction genre that we know and love today would just not exist without Metropolis. In many ways, like that movie influenced George Lucas. It influenced Ridley Scott. It influenced James Cameron. You know, like it's like very integral text in the American film canon. And it's super interesting too, the way that like the ideas that went into it and the way it was made. So and the scale at that time to be operating on, like very fascinating movie. So yeah, those are the ones that I would particularly push you forward as silent film novices. But was there anything else that I wanted to talk about?
The actor, one who played the Black Pirate, did he transition to sound, or like did he like was he?
Oh yeah. No, he made the transition. That Douglas Fairbanks legend. His son too, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. is also like a pretty big movie star for the generation of stars afterwards.
Nice.
But yeah, no, he's pretty iconic. He's known for these types of characters. Like he and Errol Flynn basically like cemented this type of hero in the like popular imagination, essentially.
I mean, he has the look. He has, like you were saying, like a big part of it's like your physical acting, right? Like your posing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he has it. Oh man, like this guy is a fucking. This guy walks into a bar and your girl's going home with him.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of someone else. So no, actually, famously, he did not make the transition to sound. His last movie was in 1934, which is only about 7 years into the sound era, and I believe it was a failure. So yeah, he did not make. So did you see Babylon?
Yes.
No, I want to.
I was also gonna mention I was thinking a lot about Babylon while watching this.
So Douglas Fairbanks is one of several influences on Brad Pitt's character in Babylon. Yeah. So like Brad Pitt in Babylon, Brad Pitt plays the famous archetypal silent film star who can't make the transition to sound now that sound's like this huge thing.
Yeah, everyone's doing these damn talkies.
Margot Robbie in that one? Margot Robbie's in that one, right?
Yep. And one of her character's influences was Mary Pickford. So there you go.
No, it looks good. It's just it's one I got around to.
Yeah. But if you like this Douglas Fairbanks movie that I can recommend you is Mark of Zorro, which I mentioned earlier. Really good film, all the same Douglas Fairbanks charms, and he's doing his own stunts, and the stunts are crazy. So definitely go and watch that. Also cool because again, of its like obvious influence on Batman.
Oh, dude, look at the Batman costume in like the first ever Detective Comics story of Batman. Like it's fucking ripped
and
off
like Batman, Batman first issued in like the late 30s, so like not that far removed, because Mark of Zorro was 1920, so that's only like 19 years removed.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's in the way like wrestling outfits created the Superman costume. The Zorro costume is what created the Batman costume. He has like he has like look at his gloves. He's like these big ass purple gloves in that, and like it's a very different costume to what we now think of it. It's more based on his 80s appearances with the longer ears and like the longer pointy ears, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, watch Mark of Zorro, and then go and watch a fan cut of Tim Burton's Batman movie called Batman the Silent Motion Picture. You can find it online. The movie is the same. It's just that it's silent and it's done in black and white, and cool. It just plays like the Danny Elfman score over it, like but more ambiently basically. So really cool little like fan recut, but what's cool about it is it kind of like accentuates the obvious influences that Tim Burton had, because he was clearly inspired by like the silent film era,
and like those influence had on the original comic and bringing that more to life in like the late 80s when he was making his film.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like I've seen actually. I think I've seen some Charlie Chaplin films. He was, I think he was silent, right? Chaplin. Sorry. But
yes. So Modern Times, really great stuff, very funny. City Lights, funny, also profound. Very, very good stuff. So Gold Rush is great. Those are all silent.
And who would have thought his granddaughter would end up being the hottest blue woman ever to grace the earth? God bless.
Yeah.
God bless.
Anyway,
was there anything about the story that we wanted to talk about? Because I know you're like super into like nerding out about the craft, but was there anything like story wise that we wanted to discuss?
I yeah. What were you gonna say, Gene?
No, I mean, again, like, I just, to me, it was like, I appreciated, like, again, like I talked about earlier, it's just like a classic story. Like, again, like, it's not overly complex. It's like a very classic, like, you save the, like, he's taking a vow to avenge his father, and then, of course, he saves the girl, right? It's like, I like that. It's fun. I don't know. There's not much I can say about it that hasn't been said already. I feel like when it comes to those kind of stories, like Dan said, yeah. I was a little surprised that the captain he dies pretty early on, but then you have your classic, like, almost like, you have like what is it? He's the second in command, right? Who just doesn't trust him, right?
The first mate, yeah.
The first mate, and it's like he's a fun classic villain in a lot of ways. He's not wrong to distrust him. It's not like his motives.
Yeah.
Are like they're not like his own personal motives are not wrong. He's he's a pirate, sure. He's a classic villain as a pirate, but it's like it's fun because like he's not like a menace.
Yeah, no, I loved the way that it like I don't know. I was totally expecting him to infiltrate the crew by going like kind of undercover and joining the crew. I didn't expect him to like
walk
literally
up on the beach like, can I join you guys?
Take over he just walks up and goes, hey, I'm gonna join you. All right, I'm gonna kill your captain. To become your new captain, you need me to steal a ship. All right, I'll do it by myself. How about that? And then he does it. I mean, it was so dope. And then when they catch him trying to break free the woman, and he's saying, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" And then they vote to not kill him, but then they make him walk the plank. Oh, it was such I loved it. I thought it was so fulfilling. But yeah.
I love
right, you heard it here, folks. Dan is 2 thumbs up for the Black Pirate, 2 thumbs down for Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme did not make the cut on this one. It will be voted off the island by way of Dan. So says Dan.
I will have to return my jacket.
I love a classic too, like because they're just like, all right, like, we're gonna kill these guys now, and he's like, well, but we could ransom them instead. Like I love that classic trope of like, no, like they're worth more to you alive, like, because like I don't want you to kill them, but you guys can't know that, so like, wouldn't you rather do this instead? Yeah. It's a fun trope. I love it. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
So
yeah, jacket. I'm just wishing Dan in a Marty Supreme jacket.
Greed can be a powerful ally.
Oh no, I was talking to my brother about it last week. He's like seriously considering like spending way too much money on one because he like desperately wants one.
I kind of feel like I want one too. You guys should get it for me for my birthday in February.
Dan and I go, dude, they're like $1,000 resale.
It'll be but it's gonna be so outdated in like a few months. I don't.
Yeah, Drip never dies.
Yeah. It never dies, especially. Oh, you know what would be cool though, because like you just know that they're gonna deny Timmy the Oscar, and he's gonna lose his mind, which will then also make those jackets legendary in their own way, because it will be about tormenting him for his defeat.
And his next press tour is even going to be crazier.
Well, I
His
just
Dune one.
honestly think Timmy is going to be the new Leo, where it takes him like over a decade to finally get the Oscar, despite consistently putting in good work, and it's going to like actually make him crazy, and it's going to become a huge meme, because like basically from like the mid 90s until like 20 years later with The Revenant, Leo was chasing that Oscar. He got like randomly nominated for like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, didn't win, and then was consistently doing work with like upper tier auteurs, logging in good performances, and just like sometimes getting nominated, sometimes not, but just not winning. And it wasn't until like The Revenant, which was not even like his best performance of that decade, despite being like a good movie. But like, and then finally winning, after doing Titanic, after doing Catch Me If You Can, after doing Wolf of Wall Street, like, so I just feel like that's what they're gonna do to Timmy,
Yeah,
See it
we'll
happening.
see. But yeah, are you guys anything else you want to mention? That was pretty much all I had.
I thought it was a fun plot thing of like, hey, the island he washes up on is also the island it's at the same island they stopped to bury their treasure. It's just like a very
Right.
fun like just I love movie logic.
Yeah, man, they had to move that story along, dude. They had to get on to the next sail thing. They had to like do the next like backflip, right? Shit was crazy. They don't have time to work out the plot. They got to get this to Technicolor right away, pronto.
That's true.
We should
That's
we
true.
should end every conversation with just saying, was this movie better than The Rise of Skywalker? And I say yes.
I say yes too. That's one thumb up for me, Gene.
Yeah. I hate Rise of Skywalker. So yeah.
Any
All right.
closing thoughts?
Yeah. Any other closing thoughts?
Great pick, great movie. Bring back
Yeah,
Pirates.
that was fun. That was a fun pick. Thank you for that. When did you first watch this?
I never saw it before. This is the first time.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. I thought you had watched
I had
it.
just been like, researching different pirate films to pick for December because I knew I was going to do that for December. And this was just what I landed on because it was like, well, we could do Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's boring. We could do some random Treasure Island adaptation. That's boring. But this had Douglas Fairbanks, who's like one of the pirate guys. The other option was like an Errol Flynn movie from like the 30s or the 40s. But I was like, I could do that, but I was like, why don't I also take advantage of the fact that it is also a silent film, so that way we can talk about a silent film for the first time. So that's like one way versus the other, essentially. But yeah, I'd never seen this before. I had a blast. I'm glad you guys had a blast. Do we want to do closing things before we move on to the next part?
Yeah,
whose pick
Dan.
is it? Is it Dan's pick?
It's mine.
It's yours. Okay, so I'll give my closing.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do my closing thing, then Dan, and then Gene can go, and then he can give his pitch. I really like this movie. I'm glad you guys like this movie. I had fun with it. I believe on Letterboxd I gave it a 4 out of 5. Definitely would recommend if you just want to see like, filmmaking at its purest without any of like the modern bells and whistles, just like people who came together to make a picture that they thought would like dazzle audiences, and it's just had like purest intent, simple runtime. This is the movie for you. And if this gets you into watching silent films, then I can't recommend it enough. I can't emphasize it enough. So glad I could share this with all of you and myself, since I had never seen it before. But Dan?
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic pick. I didn't know what to expect going in with a lot of these older movies. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the ones that we've discussed so far, especially this one. This was one of those movies where I feel like it's so interesting, like we did, just talk about the production and the history and just of the how did they do that of the back then, but also just really enjoying the story. And I genuinely had a great experience watching it. So yeah, I think I would give it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd and 8 out of 10. So Yeah, great, fantastic. And my biggest takeaway is bring back pirate movies, baby. Hashtag. I think that's why I gravitate so much to a guy like Robert Eggers in a lot of ways, just these kinds of swashbuckling stories. So yeah, bring back pirate movies. Let's do it. But yeah, so that's me.
Fond of me lobster.
Yeah, exactly.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
All right. Gene,
Say
what
it.
about what
This is fucking- Jesus
Gene,
Christ.
what about you?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like I said, I found myself just like really taken by just the production of it all. Again, just really fun, inventive ways of like telling a story without dialogue. Like I said, the colors really stuck out to me, so that's actually why I read it about them, because I was like, this is fun. Like again, how'd you do this? This is really fun. Great pick. Honestly, it's a solid 4.5 out of 5 for me, because it's not only for me like culturally significant, like important, I would say, but it's like it's a good time. It's generally a good time. It's a nice classic swashbuckling story, right? You get all the fun beats that you should expect, right? Like like you said, it's not you're not trying to go complex, and that's a good thing in this one, right? You're following well-known pirate beats even by 1926, right? And like, yeah, that's what you need. Needs more Davy Jones though. No, I'm kidding. So do I segue now?
Yeah, give us your
Yeah, if you're done with your closing thoughts, yeah.
give us your
I
pitch,
mean,
Gene.
we talked about.
Pitch us, boy.
So I had my pick for this movie, and then I switched to a second pick, and then I went back to my first pick, because my second one, I'm not going to use it for the show. I'm going to talk to Dan about. Maybe we could watch it this weekend if you're around, Dan. My second pick, that like the one I almost picked. So we watched Michael Clayton, which is like a very for its time to like drama, right? And like a I feel it's like a theme, but Dan picks these like dramas, right? Like he and this one and whatever. And then with Remy, we're having a lot of fun with like going back in time and exploring genre. So for me, I was like, what the fuck do I want to pick? What did I pick last? Memories of Murder, right? So a little bit of a hint here. I'm picking another foreign language international movie, and I stumbled upon this. Okay. Remember that one time Awkwafina made a very good movie and then just never again made a good movie or starred in a good movie?
When?
The Farewell, which is an incredible movie. I highly recommend it. Have you seen it?
No, I've heard of it though.
Dan, have you seen it?
No, but
We're
yeah,
not watching that one. But fuck, I would have picked it, but you guys didn't watch it. Okay, we're not watching that one because I do adore that movie. So yeah, Awkwafina starred in a very great movie called The Farewell, which is about basically she is I think I don't remember if she's a first generation Chinese American immigrant or if she was born in China and the character, moved to the States as a young kid. But she's, either way, very first gen. Her mother is ill, so she has to, and has a short time to live, so she has to fly back to China to be with her, to see her. And it's a nice fun like reconnecting with your roots, right? As a first generation American, right? Something that I obviously have a lot of connection to, right? And I'm just like, it's a fun performance, and I'm like, why the fuck hasn't she done anything like that ever again? Like, what? I don't understand. Have you guys seen the Awkwafina meme? The what is you Tom about? Like, have you guys seen that?
I don't think so.
Awkwafina has like a black scent, or she originally had a black scent, and then
She still does. All of her characters do.
yeah. But then you watch The Farewell, and you're like, why the fuck did she make a good one? I don't understand. So I'm like, okay, who directed this movie? This movie was written and directed by Lulu Wang. She is a Chinese-born filmmaker, and when I was reading about her, there's not much she has done. Her 2 feature films are The Farewell and a movie called Posthumous. Other than that, she has, according to Wikipedia, 5 short films. And then she wrote and directed a TV show for Amazon in 2024, and that's kind of it. She hasn't done a lot. And I'm just sitting here like I don't understand why, because like you made this you made this movie that I very much love. Well, on Wikipedia you'll see she had named 10 films as her favorite movies. And I'm very interested in one of these movies. One of the movies that she named as one of her 10 favorite movies of all time is a Taiwanese drama called Yi Yi, Y-I space Y-I. And that's what we're going to watch, boys. We're watching Yi Yi. It's a 2000 Taiwanese drama film. Written and directed by...
enough.
Huh?
Don't finish your pitch. I'm sorry.
Oh. So, written and directed by Edward Yang. I'm just going to read the Wikipedia quick thing. It centers on the struggles of an engineer, NJ, and 3 generations of his middle-class Taiwanese family in Taipei. Has been regarded as one of the greatest films of the 21st century, yada, yada, yada. The director won Best Director at the 53rd, Cannes Film Festival. So, it sounds like we are in Cannes. We're in for a good time. And that is my choice.
I just watched this for the first time like
You fucker.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
That's so funny because if we recorded and we were supposed to, that would have been perfect. Well, I'm curious your thoughts on it.
It's okay.
and
It's a
watch
good
it again.
movie.
Watch it
I'm
again.
glad I'm glad to talk about it with you boys. It's a very good movie.
What led you to watch it?
Huh?
What led you to pick this movie to watch? Like, what led you to pick this?
Oh,
movie to
because
watch?
it's considered one of the best films of the 21st century. So it's like a canon film, I guess you could say. So it's like very good, highly influential. Also, the last film ever made by that particular director because he died not long after.
So what's funny is like I didn't know that, and like I said, as explained, I discovered it because I really love The Farewell, right? And then learning like, okay, she was influenced by this movie. What's this movie about? So that's what we're
It's
watching.
3 hours,
That's fine.
so he's blessed you, Dan.
I don't care. I'll do it.
I'm gonna tell you guys my second choice because I'm not gonna use it for this podcast whatsoever. I almost went with Traffic, the Del Toro one that won him his Oscar.
I haven't
Dan.
seen Traffic. That's a Soderbergh movie.
Yeah, Dan, you and I are watching that this weekend.
Okay. I don't
Wait,
care.
can I zoom in? Can I
Yeah, come by. No, like I almost picked. Okay, the reason I didn't pick it because it looks like the kind of movie Dan would have us pick, and I didn't want to pick one like that right at like so close to Michael Clayton, and also like
saying is Dan, you have shit taste, and he wanted to go into a different direction.
No, it just felt
Hey.
like because read the premise. Like I'm like this is the kind of movie Dan would pick. So like I'm sitting here and I'm like, I feel like I'm taking away
No,
from that.
I've long been meaning to do the Soderbergh double feature for the year 2000 when he had 2 movies get into Best Picture.
Yes.
One of which won the Oscar. It was that one and Aaron Brockovich.
Homeboy was up for Best Directing for 2 movies. Like
Yes.
dude, come
Yes.
on. Like that's a fucking and he won. He still won.
Did he win for Traffic or for Aaron Brockovich?
Brockovich, which
Aaron
is one that's
Brockovich,
on
okay.
my it's been on my watch list for a long time. Well, so
Both of
I
them
haven't-
have for me, yeah.
he's done he has quite a bit of movies. But he's one who everything I've watched from him I've thoroughly enjoyed. I love Logan Lucky. I actually really enjoy Magic Mike. I think it's a fun movie. What else did he do? Not Presence, which I do want to watch. Which I think one of you two wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, I didn't like Presence. And I
Presence
thought
is-
Black Bag was mid.
I like Black Bag, and Presence is one of my favorites of the year.
It was. I was gonna.
Well,
I think
Like I
Presence was
said,
one-
Dan, you're wrong about everything.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, I feel like it's Presence that you two had like completely different opinions on.
Yeah.
Which is always fun for me. But no, like I and you know, Ocean's 11, of course. Like I fucking love Ocean's 11.
Yeah, I like Ocean's
Also,
11.
So what's really fun about like Remington, like it's Erin Brockovich and then Traffic, and those had like critical acclaim. And then the very next year is Ocean's 11, which while not as like critically acclaimed, it's a box office success and it's still a very good movie. You know, it's really interesting.
So the thing about like Soderbergh is he's kind of like a director's director. He kind of just like is doing what he's interested in. He's very versatile. He doesn't want to be put in a box. And B, whenever he does it, he just like directs the hell out of it, no matter what he's doing,
Yeah.
which is kind of like why a lot of people like Presence, is because it's a good like director film. It's kind of like he had a concept and he like really executed on it and like did it all himself. Like that's so like the ghost, he is the ghost in that movie because it's just a camera rig attached to his body and it's him like standing in the room or running up and down the stairs or like moving around the room with the actors. Like that's him doing that all. So of course people are gonna like that. Nerds are gonna like that.
So one thing about Traffic, he operated the camera himself too, apparently, and I
Yeah.
almost picked it, but like again, like it feels too close to like a movie Dan would pick, and that is a bad thing. But I'm like, I gotta
is a
pick
bad
movie
thing.
I gotta pick a movie I would pick, and this is a little more. Actually, well, one time Dan picked a foreign language movie, so fuck you, Dan. I should pick this movie. No, I'm excited.
True. Dan did do a foreign language movie.
I'm
Dan did
more
the first
excited.
foreign language movie for the pod.
I'm more excited to pick this one. Sorrington, fuck you for watching it, but who cares? Watch it again.
Cool. No, I'm down. It's a good movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll find out. And again, like I didn't want to pick something that's too close. It just felt too close to like Heat and Michael Clayton-esque, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So close to those two. So you
Sure.
know.
All
Starting
right.
the new year off with Yee Yee. Hell yeah.
Did you rent it or what did you watch it on?
I have Criterion Channel. It's on Criterion Channel. Actually, if you boys want my login, cut that out, Dan. Cut that part out. I can share it with you.
Ooh. Go on. Okay. Yeah, we might have to work that out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I checked Letterboxd to see if you guys had watched Traffic, and I saw you didn't. I forgot to check it for Yee. Fuck, should have done that.
I watched it recently. You could have just seen like my most recent watches, and you would have seen it posted.
Check. I just forgot to check. I literally checked for Traffic because I was also like in my back pocket. I was tossed in between. There's still an animated movie that I'm gonna have us watch that you guys haven't watched yet. So Remington, don't watch anything animated for a while.
No.
All right.
It's the one I almost picked last time, but I ended up decided like, do you guys do that? Or do you guys like also like do this where you guys have like two options and you guys pick one, or do you guys just kind of log in?
No, well, like I said, with this last pick, I had a couple ideas in mind, but I had already resolved the tension, but long in advance because I had been thinking about it all year. I plan mine out in advance with what I want to do. So
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I have a private letterbox list of things that I'm like, oh, this might be interesting, and I kind of also try to base it off of what has been recommended recently. So I kind of try to like gauge it that way. But yeah, so
I almost picked Traffic too because I was like, Del Toro, maybe it'll boost our algorithm a little bit when is he gonna be up for an Oscar? Do people think he's gonna go up for supporting?
yeah, no, I think that One Battle is going to be huge, and I think it's going to get a double nom in supporting actor for Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn.
And not Chase Infinity. Interesting. Okay.
No, in supporting actor, and just in support.
supporting
I'm just saying a double nom in
Oh,
supporting
yeah.
actor.
Got it.
For Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn.
I
I think
thought about
Leo gets in
picking
an
that.
actor.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Chase maybe gets in an actress. It's close. Should be like 4 or 5. And then I also think that I think Teyana Taylor can squeeze in supporting actress. I don't think that's out of the question.
No, I don't. Miriam did not like her performance, notably.
Yeah, but like supporting actor is a little weird right now. So I think there's actually compared to like who else is in contention, and so I think there's actually room for her to get in, especially if they just really love the movie. You know, they just want to throw things at it, because it's like it's not clear right now that both both of the sentimental value girls, which is like Elle Fanning and Inga Ingsbader, get in. It's not clear if they both get in. Since Wicked for Good took a hit, it's not clear if Ariana is like clearly number 1. And we aren't sure if Amy Madigan, she's getting like a lot of like early precursor awards, but it's still a horror movie, so it's not clear if she's really a thing with the Oscars. You know, so there's room to play is the thing. Weapons. Amy Madigan. She's the old woman. She's the witch lady. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Academy hates horror movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. So yeah, I thought about that because I was like, that really help our algorithm. Then I was like, fuck it, fuck the algorithm.
No, Yee Yee's a classic. Look, there's definitely people out here who want to hear people talk about Yee Yee. Just a different kind of person. But yeah.
But I do want to watch Traffic. So Dan, if you have nothing going on this weekend, maybe we could watch Traffic.
Yeah,
I
just
feel
let
like
me
that's like
know.
a very you movie. I mean,
I
I feel like that's on your radar, right? I feel like that's a movie that you've had on
I've
your
I've
list.
heard
'cause
of it, but I don't know too much about it. But yeah, I'm down.
Just dude, look it up. Let's look at a you movie. Like, and I say that in like the most like complimentary way, like to the point where like I feel like you would have picked this movie inevitably.
Yeah, no,
And I've been
I'm
trying
down.
to watch Aaron Brockovich too. Oh my god, because
God, yeah, me
like,
too.
Dan, did you stop recording? Because we're just fucking like
Well, let's say
whining about like.
No, I haven't. I don't care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Wait, do you want? All right, all right. We'll sign off. We'll sign out. All right. Tell people where they can find you.
Nowhere. Don't perceive me. Letterbox J3A and 865. I guess I don't know. Don't perceive me.
All right, going into the new year strong. Remington, where can the people find you?
At Angry Every Day on Twitter and at rspore on Letterbox. God save us all.
And you can find me letterboxed Dan Ivy 99 and on Twitter Dan Ivy 99. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you in the new year. Have a happy new year, everyone. And when we stop recording, I'm going to tell everyone what I really think about Paul Dano. Bye.